Before shopping became fast, disposable, and forgettable, stores used to feel almost sacred. People dressed up just to go downtown. Department stores smelled like perfume, polished wood, and new fabric. Escalators felt futuristic. Window displays could stop you in your tracks for minutes at a time. And sometimes, you didn't even buy anything. You just looked. Because in the 1950s and 1960s, shopping wasn't only about products. It was about hope, status, adulthood, becoming someone. And if you grew up during that era, there are certain stores, certain coats, certain counters, and certain streets your mind still remembers perfectly. Even now. Today, I want to take you back to when shopping felt special. When department stores were destinations. When buying a coat meant something more than just staying warm. If you remember this, stay with me. Because this is about more than just stores. It's about who you were becoming when you walked through those doors. Downtown streets. In the 1950s and early 1960s, downtown shopping streets were part of weekly life. Families went into town on Saturdays not only to buy things, but to experience the atmosphere itself. Main Street, High Street, the downtown shopping district. These weren't just streets, they were stages. Some people would stand there 5 or 10 minutes just looking at the windows. Mannequins stood beneath warm spotlights wearing the newest autumn coats or holiday fashions. Stores competed to create displays people would actually stop and admire. And people did stop. Sometimes for several minutes. Do you remember that? Standing on the sidewalk looking through those enormous windows? The glass was so clean it was almost invisible. The displays changed with the seasons. Christmas windows with mechanical Santa workshops. Spring windows with pastel dresses and Easter bonnets. Fall windows with back-to-school clothes arranged like they were waiting just for you. Window shopping wasn't called that because you were looking at windows. It was called that because you were looking through windows, into a life you wanted. Those mannequins weren't just modeling clothes. Somehow, those mannequins made adulthood look calm, organized, certain. That coat could make you sophisticated. That dress could make you elegant. That suit could make you someone important. And even if you couldn't afford it that day, you could stand there and imagine. Do you remember a specific window display from your childhood? A department store window that made you stop and stare? Maybe it was Christmas. Maybe it was Easter. Maybe it was just a beautiful coat you wanted so badly you dreamed about it. Drop a comment. I want to hear what you remember. Because those windows, they were selling more than clothes. They were selling dreams. And sometimes those dreams came true. The coat. Let me tell you about the coat. Not just any coat. The coat. In the post-war era, the 1950s and early 1960s, clothing was purchased differently than it is today. Most people owned fewer garments, but they expected them to last for years. A good coat wasn't fast fashion. It represented stability, investment, adulthood. You saved for a coat. You went to the department store with intention. You tried on several. The sales clerk, who knew her stock by heart, would bring you options. This one is pure wool. It'll last you 10 years. This one has a silk lining. Very elegant. This one is from London. Burberry. The best. And when you found the right one, you felt it. The weight of it on your shoulders. The way the fabric moved. The way you looked in the three-way mirror. You could hear the metal hangers sliding along the rack while the sales clerk searched for your size. You looked like someone. Someone grown up. Someone who had arrived. I want to ask you something. Do you remember the first grown-up coat you ever bought? Not a hand-me-down. Not something your mother picked out. The first coat you chose yourself. That you saved for. That made you feel like an adult. Because that coat wasn't just keeping you warm. It was announcing to the world, I am someone now. People wore their good coats to church. To job interviews. To dates. To important occasions. They took care of them. Hung them properly. Brushed them. Had them cleaned professionally. A coat could last a decade. Longer if you took care of it. Back then, clothing was purchased with the expectation of longevity. Quality mattered more than quantity. One beautiful coat you wore for years was better than 5 cheap coats you threw away after a season. But not everyone was shopping for grown-up coats. Because in the late 1960s, a different kind of shopping was emerging. Boutiques and youth rebellion. By the late 1960s, something was changing. Young people didn't want to shop where their parents shopped. They didn't want the elegant department stores with the polite sales clerks and the classic styles. They wanted something different. Boutiques started appearing. Small shops. Loud music. Bright colors. Clothes their parents would never approve of. Mini skirts. Bell-bottoms. Paisley prints. Platform shoes. And boots. Dr. Martens. Originally factory boots. Working-class footwear. But in the late 1960s and early 1970s, they became a symbol. Rebellion. Identity. Youth culture. Some of those little boutiques felt almost intimidating the first time you walked in. Loud music. Strange clothes. Older teenagers who looked far cooler than you. Did you shop at boutiques in the late 60s or early 70s? Did your parents disapprove of what you bought? Were there stores you went to specifically because your parents would never shop there? I want to hear about that. Because that was a generational shift happening in real time. The retail landscape was splitting. Department stores continued serving adults who valued quality and tradition. But boutiques, record shops, and youth-focused stores were creating a parallel shopping culture. Factory fashion, working-class style, was becoming mainstream. Not because it was elegant, because it was different. But while young people were rejecting traditional department stores, mothers were still shopping there. Because for them, those stores meant something else entirely. The mothers trusted stores. Let's talk about the mothers. The women who returned to the same counters year after year. Not because they were shopping for themselves, because they were shopping for their families. Stores like Marks & Spencer, Sears, and JCPenney became trusted parts of family life. Mothers knew which counter had the school clothes, which clerk would help them find the right size, which brands would hold up through a year of playground wear. Reliability mattered more than trends. Did your mother have a store she always went back to? Sears? JCPenney? Marks & Spencer? A local department store? Do you remember going with her? Watching her examine fabrics, check seams, compare prices? Because that was a skill. Shopping for a family on a budget required knowledge. Every season had its shopping rhythm. Back to school in late August. New shoes before the year started. Winter coats in October. Easter outfits in March. Some mothers used catalogs. Sears catalog. Montgomery Ward. The catalogs had that thin paper smell people still remember. They'd sit at the kitchen table, turning pages, circling items with a pen. Then they'd fill out the order form, mail it in, and wait. Weeks later, a package would arrive. The anticipation was part of the experience. But all of this, the downtown shopping, the trusted stores, the personal service, it was about to change. Because something new was coming. The malls arrived. By the late 1960s and into the 1970s, shopping began moving away from old downtown streets into enclosed malls. Everything became brighter, faster, more efficient. Parking lots replaced sidewalks. Fluorescent lights replaced natural daylight. Climate control replaced seasons. You could shop in January without a coat, in July without sweating. It was convenient, modern, the future. But something quieter disappeared with it. The intimacy was gone. Downtown shopping streets had personality. Each store was different. The windows changed. The sidewalks had history. But malls? They all started to look the same. The same stores. The same layout. The same lighting. Shopping became about efficiency. Get in. Buy what you need. Get out. Department stores moved into malls. But they lost something in the translation. No more window displays you could see from the street. No more elevators with operators. No more tea rooms where mothers could rest between errands. Just fluorescent lit floors of merchandise. And that's why people who remember the old stores still talk about them with so much emotion. Personal service and memory. Here's what made old department stores feel personal. Sales clerks remembered customers. Not because they had a computer system. Because they saw you year after year. Mrs. Johnson, are you here for your daughter's school clothes again? Mr. Williams, we just got in those ties you like. They knew you. Stores offered tailoring. On site. If something didn't fit perfectly, they'd alter it. They wrapped purchases in beautiful paper. With ribbon. Department stores had tea rooms. Cafeterias. Places to rest. During the holidays, stores hired elevator operators to manage the crowds. Going shopping wasn't just a transaction. It was an experience. Do you remember a sales clerk who knew you by name? A store that felt like it was yours? A department store where you felt welcomed, known, seen? Because that's what we're really talking about here. Not just stores, but places where you mattered. Maybe that's why people still talk about old department stores, old shopping streets, and old clothing shops with so much emotion. Because they weren't really remembering the products. They were remembering who they were becoming while walking through those doors. The first grown-up coat. The Saturday morning window shopping with your mother. The boutique where you bought something your parents would never approve of. The sales clerk who knew your name. The feeling of possibility standing in front of a three-way mirror, trying on a future version of yourself. No modern store, no matter how expensive or efficient, can quite recreate that feeling again. Stores used to feel personal. Now they mostly feel temporary. It's convenient, it's fast, it's disposable. But for those of you who remember when it was different, you know what we lost. And maybe, just maybe, that's worth remembering.